I'm excited to join Crafty Meggy for her 5-year YouTube-iversary. I am scrap lifting this 12 by 12 and this 12 by 12 to make a 2-page spread. These are the papers I'm using. They're from the Close to My Heart Snow Haven collection from 2014. This setup is new, so I don't have the full 2-page spread in the view, but I do move it around so you can see it, and I do zoom out a little bit more towards the end of the video. On her scrapbook page, she put out 3x4 cards, and so I found these that I thought would go really well with the collection because there's a lot of black in the collection. There's black and teal and red. So I lined up my ruler so I could be 1.5 inches from the edge and from the bottom, and I did the same thing on the other side. This arrow one that I'm putting on right now, I'm actually putting on upside down, but I fix it later and flip it around. But I wanted a little bit of texture or something showing on each card when the photos are on top of it. So I wanted the arrow to the bottom. The ones that I put to the far right, I just made sure it was something with a pattern that I liked, that I wanted to show fully, like the heart and the enjoy the little things. And over to the left, there's a title card that says love, and then below that there's a little space for journaling. Here I was going to put my photo on. These are 4x6 photos, and I want some of the black to show between the two photos on that second card on the top row. And you know, I'm sure it would be fine if it was just white showing, but so I end up moving these pictures down a little bit because right there you can see there's a little bit of white, and if I move it up to show some black, then I thought the gap was too big between the photos. So I moved this one down so I can still see the arrow down below, I can still see the side of the card, and I can still see most of my heart. And then I can move this picture down, and we can still see that there's stripes behind there. On the left side, on her layout, she had just one photo, but I put 4 3x3 photos. I'm going to line that one up right next to the love and right underneath the lovely. And all 4 of these photos are going to just butt right up against each other. So same thing, we still have some exposure of the cards so you can see that there are 4x6 cards underneath. Or sorry, 3x4 cards underneath. Those black 3x4 cards are from a collection called Good Times, and I think that's from Close to My Heart. I can't remember where I got them. Down at the bottom, I'm putting on zip strips that came off of the background paper. They say snow is glistening and have snowflakes on them, so I just put one across the bottom of each page. She had round doilies on hers, but I'm putting heart doilies on, mostly because they're the ones that I had that were the right size. But I cut them in half to just peek out from underneath. I placed it so that it is behind the red but over the black card. The second half of that heart I was going to put on the other side right here, but I didn't want to cover up my heart and have 2 halves of a heart, so I moved that one over to the other page. And once again, I just tuck it between the red and the black. I only put adhesive behind the solid part of the heart. I didn't want to stick the rest of it down. I kind of like that it pops up. These were 3x4 cards also, but I fussy cut the flowers out. And I know, see, my layout is about snow, and flowers don't really go with snow, but these were like a chalkboard style with chalk, and it just looked way too cute not to use. So the second cluster I cut in half, and I'm plopping one of them over here on the left. The other one will go on the other side of the layout, right by that heart. This was a striped paper. Each one of these pieces of paper were just cut out from that paper. It looked kind of like sweater paper. And when I cut them out individually, I tried to get a good variety of colors, mostly focusing on the tan, red, and blue and black. So, anyway, I took them, cut them at various lengths, and then did the fishtail. So there I have 14, I believe. Then I just spread them out, and I know you can't see the upper right and the upper left corners. I do move it around a little bit here and a little bit so you can see it, but I start laying them out just so there's not similar colors together and not similar length together. I spaced them out so they're about 1/8 of an inch between each tag. And here I'm just placing them down. Later I come back and I glue them down. This is where I realized that you couldn't even see what I was doing. I had to move my washi bowl so I could scoot things to the right and then push my papers towards the middle. It still doesn't show the whole thing, but you can see most of it. Okay, that's where they're going to stay for the most part. I'm going to show you the other side too, since it's sort of out of the view. I mean, except I cleaned them up, they're not sitting wonky. So there I have attached the tags, and I decided that this other flower needed a half a heart behind it. So I went ahead and tucked it behind the love card. So basically, those tags are done. I'm showing you that there. So I pull out the chipboard that goes along with the Snow Haven collection. Those are snowflakes that are in shape of stars. This is the title. It says Making Spirits Bright. And I'm just placing things so that I have 3 clusters on the left page and 2 clusters on the right. One of the clusters is up by the tags on the left and then by each flower, and the same thing on the other side. On this burr, I wish I would have left it right there, but I didn't. I moved it down to right there. I think it looked better going over the photo, but that's okay. I also pulled some mittens from the collection, and they are up by the tag that says Fun Days and the one that says So Happy. These are just some little decorative pieces. One says All Bundled Up, it's the red one right there in the middle. The other one says So Happy, and another one that says Love. The Love one, I can't figure out at first where to put it. I was going to put it at the top left side, and I actually kind of liked it there, but I ended up moving it over to the right side because there was already 3 right here on this side. So this is a snowflake one that is the teal color. And then Love right above the So Happy. What's left on this piece of acetate that they all came on are white diamond acrylic pieces. So I just scatter, and I put 1 in each cluster, and that leaves me with 1 more, and so I put it up by the title. And that finished off all of those. I really love it when I finish stuff up and it doesn't just sit in my collection. Here I'm taking just dots. These are teal with sparkles, and then I have just some regular teal ones that I put along the edge. Meggy had scattered along the edges of hers, she had stars. So I wanted something similar, but I had thought about doing hearts, but decided on these instead, and I really like the color combination. Here I'm doing some white dots, just enamel dots. And now I'm doing black in various sizes. And I'm just trying to fill in any gap that kind of looks like it might be saying, hey, throw an enamel dot on me. And this was a race against my phone because my phone was running out of space. So I just barely finished this in the nick of time. Here I'm going to show you the left side, and unfortunately I'm about to show you the right and it ends. But I do have photos at the end. This again is Megan's spread. And then mine. Thanks for joining us. Please see the other ladies on the hop. Thank you. Bye.